Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about topic selection. How do you come up with your speech topic? And what are the things that we have to consider when we're deciding what we're going to give our speech about? We've talked a lot about audience analysis, so obviously you're going to have to consider that. You're going to consider the assignment. And there'll be a couple other considerations, including what do you already know about the topic? You always need to have a connect to the topic. So let me get to sharing my screen. We're going to go through the PowerPoint that is up there on Canvas already. I'm going to walk you through that. And then when we get to the part about brainstorming, I want to walk you through the clustering process. Generally speaking, I would be doing this on a blackboard or on a whiteboard, actually, on a whiteboard in the classroom. But because I'm not able to do that, I'm going to walk you through kind of the process I go through when I do this work to figure out, for me, if you've looked at the PowerPoint already, I used wolf as my topic since I give lectures about wolves. Kind of the way that I go about figuring out what am I going to talk about and what order am I going to talk about it. The same kind of technique can apply to you. And I have discovered too that a lot of students like this, like it better than just sitting down and writing a list. But there are various ways you can go about brainstorming your topic. And right now, while I'm doing that, I'm going to pull down, there's a lot of light coming off right there. So let me go, I'm going to leave the screen for a second. I'm going to pause it and I'm going to come right back. Okay, so I'm back. Just changed the lighting in the back there so it's not so distracting. So let's get to it. Let's go to that PowerPoint and check it out. So I made a mistake here. Just ignore this researching a topic because we're not really doing that. What we're going to talk about though is just selecting your topic. So what you have to consider before you even get to selecting your topic. What's the assignment? What's the audience in the context? And what do you know already, right? So what's the purpose of the assignment? Your purpose in this assignment, because I've given it to you, is to share your personal symbol. It could be any. It doesn't have to be the personal symbol. It could be any personal symbol. And I'm actually going to do another little mini lecture on that assignment so we can walk through that as well. That's what you need to know. What is your personal symbol? So you have to ask yourself, what's the purpose of the assignment? What am I after? Your rhetorical purpose. The rhetorical purpose refers to, am I informing, entertaining, or persuading? Oftentimes, if you're doing a speech to entertain, it involves both persuading and informing. But generally speaking, when we talk about informative speech, it means we are, and I'm going to give a lecture about informative speaking, but when we talk about informative speaking, we are just sharing information. We are not trying to get anyone to believe anything. We're not trying to change their minds. We are just merely giving that information, allowing them to do what they want. And that's both in how you share that information and the words you use when you share that information. So that needs to be clear on what's your rhetorical purpose? What are you after? If you have a persuasive speech, you're after changing their minds, which you know what your goal is, to get them to go take a different action or to believe something different, right? So rhetorical purposes, so what's your goal, right? So when I give talks about wolves, my goal is for them to be more educated about wolves. And perhaps as a result of that, they might make different decisions in terms of how they vote around environmental issues or who they vote for, that people stand for environmental issues, how they then approach wildlife. There's all kinds of other things that can happen as a result, but my primary purpose in giving educational talks is to educate them. Okay, so you need to know, what is your primary purpose? Okay, who's your audience? I know I talked about this before, but it's my best example of when I'm giving a talk. If I'm talking to young children, how I talk about wolves is going to be completely different than how I talk to families, right? Because I have adults and then I have older young people in there, like teenagers, and they have a different mindset and they have different interests. And so who's your audience? Who are you speaking to? Where are you speaking? Okay, we talked about that as well, situational characteristics, right? What do you already know about the topic? Okay, this isn't just so you can share your common knowledge about something. This is about what's your connect to that topic? Why are you talking about this? Right? This speech you're going to be your first speech here is going to a personal symbol speech, so it's going to be directly connected to you because it's your personal symbol. Now it could be someone else's symbol as well, but it's personal to you, and that's what we want to know is like, why is this symbol personal to you? What does it mean to you? What is the audience? What do you think the audience already knows? Right? I'm going to have to go through and look at that demographic survey and give you the results of that so you can kind of see, what does the audience know? What do they care about? What assumptions can you make about the audience? Okay, techniques for selecting the topic. Let's take a look at that. So you can start by just researching it. You know, Wikipedia is a great place to start of just getting general information about anything. Wikipedia is not the answer, right? It doesn't the answer because other people can contribute, people that maybe aren't educated and the public can contribute to that information. But sometimes it's a general way to start if you want to just get some general information. When I say don't be over-reliant on this kind of research, it means, and this is basically research is a technique, is a brainstorming technique. It means that don't just believe whatever you see on the internet. Okay, when we get into the lecture on research, then we'll talk more about what research is credible and what's not. We'll talk more about that. But for now, all you're doing is trying to figure out what's your topic going to be, how are you going to go about that. Hang on one second. How are you going to go about getting more information about the topic, make you think about the topic, what topic it is, etc. Okay. This technique is called brainstorming. Literally is called brainstorming. If you could do this right now, it'd be awesome if you could just stop, pause this recording, go get a sheet of paper, and follow my prompt with this. And the key to doing well at this is to turn off your internal editor. Okay? And here's the other key. The key to, if you want to make a good speech, you can't think about it. Those of you that want to stay in your head all day, I'm going to ask you to stop doing that. You need to not just be up here. In fact, we haven't even talked about when you practice your speech. You need to practice it out loud, not in your head, but out loud. Hear yourself saying the speech. They're all other parts of your body that you need to connect to. So those of you that are really heady people and always want to stay in your head, I'm going to ask you to get out of your comfort zone and actually interact with yourself through writing. Whether it's going to be doing this type of brainstorming or something else, a different technique to get to your speech topic. So you can take out a sheet of paper, clear the space, write the topic at the top of your page, and then just let yourself write anything you want. You can write prose, you can write words, you can write anything you want. You just keep going and you don't stop. You don't take your pen off the paper. Okay, and if you need to give yourself a timer, time yourself for 2 minutes. Make yourself write for 2 minutes. Make yourself write for 5 minutes. Whatever comes to mind. It doesn't matter. You're not going to share it with anybody. If it goes off in some kind of weird topic, or you're talking about, murder or sex or whatever, something that you might be uncomfortable talking about, it doesn't matter because it's your brainstorm. No, you're not going to share it with anyone. The whole point of it is for you to open up your mind and open up your mind to let yourself, your other part of your brain that's not edited, the creative part of your brain, like it's not even your left side, it's actually your right side of your brain, is to let that flow, to let your subconscious talk to you, right? There's a whole gold mine of information inside of you that your editor doesn't allow you to get in touch with. If you're an artist of any sort, you know what I'm talking about. The creative process can't be hindered by you editing yourself and telling you what's right, what's wrong. The critic, you can talk about the internal editor. You can think of it as a critic. There are different words for it. So you can do this 2 minutes without stopping. You can decide to clock yourself for 5 minutes. Use your phone here, right? Set a timer. This works, folks. If you like this way, it works. And the goal, again, is to keep yourself writing for at least 2 minutes, minimum. That you don't stop writing, that you just keep going without stopping. And then when you're done, then you can read it. But don't edit yourself. Don't try to think of something. Don't sit there at the paper and go, what am I going to say? Instead of saying, if your mind says what I'm going to say, write down, what am I going to say? You with me? So you start saying, let's say your topic is, I don't know, let's say your personal symbol is the butterfly, okay? Your personal symbol is a butterfly, and you write butterfly at the top of the paper, and then you start writing whatever the butterfly, you write butterflies start as a caterpillar, and from a caterpillar, they cocoon themselves. Cocoon reminds me of when I was a baby inside my mother's womb. I really love my mom. Whatever. Do you see how I'm going with that? I'm just, whatever's coming in my mind, I'm just writing down. Okay, I'm not editing. I'm just allowing myself to just write whatever comes to mind for 2 minutes. Okay, you can start with this. We're going to go to the next one, and then I'm going to stop because I'm going to have a longer explanation for the other part of the lecture. Okay, mind mapping. So what's cool about mind mapping is you're basically using words and images to discover kind of your topic. So those of you that are more comfortable with drawing and liking to draw things, you still want to do the same thing. You'll have a clean sheet of paper. You're going to pull it out, put your word, maybe you put your word in the center and play around that word, draw things, right? You can use other words. You can draw things. If it were a butterfly, let's say you went butterfly was your personal symbol, you could, instead of writing the word butterfly, you could draw a butterfly. And then out of that, maybe the next thing you think of is, what does a cocoon look like? And you draw that, or you write the word cocoon. And maybe it makes you think of the movie Cocoon. And maybe you think about aliens from outer space and you draw an alien. I mean, you could go as far as you want with this. This kind of thing, if you're going to do drawing, you're going to do a mind mapping, which is, again, a technique to help you develop your speech topic. If you're going to do that, then you want to give yourself a lot of time. You're not giving yourself 2 minutes. Those of you that are comfortable drawing, you're going to be comfortable with this. You're going to allow yourself to just go through it, right? If you're a person that draws anyway, then you know what I'm talking about. You know how to turn off that critic and that internal editor and just let yourself flow and see what comes up. So, spend an hour on this, spend 30 minutes, right? Drawing takes time. Okay. We're going to stop here and we're going to come back. And I'm going to stop here. This will be part 1 of topic selection. And I'm going to come back in a minute for my public speaking class. Thank you so much.